Awaken the Starlight Within by I.C. Robledo. This book is a series of essays connected to the central idea that we all have starlight within us, and this starlight can be thought of as our consciousness, our free agency, our divine potential, something in that neighborhood. The key to unlocking the starlight is to figure out what you want in life, to have a plan, to learn from mistakes, and to overall have an awareness as you go through your path, whatever it may bring you. I actually found it very hard to come up with a summary of this book because there's a lot here. And the author says in the book that a lot of these ideas that he's bringing up could be made into their own books. And that's exactly what I was thinking in some of the parts when I'm reading this. Like, I've read a self-help book that's dedicated directly just to that idea. As a result, this book was kind of a lesson about the self-help genre in general, because it seems to be circling around the central idea of what all self-help books are trying to do, which is, how do you live a good life? So why do we do this as a human race? Why do we have a market for so many books that are saying essentially, in essence, a very similar thing? I've concluded it's because of how we are constantly changing as people. Some self-help book may be really important to me when I was, in my 20s, and now there's going to be another self-help book that's going to be even better, because we keep changing, we keep needing to hear life advice in different ways. Also, there are over 8 billion distinct personalities alive on the planet today, and everyone needs to hear slightly different things. So I think the market for these kinds of books about how to live a good life are going to continue. The messages from self-help books may be cliche, but that doesn't mean they aren't true. And it doesn't mean that we don't need to be reminded from time to time. My overall conclusion from this book is that consciousness is a gift, and everything is enhanced when we practice an active awareness of what's going on around us. The philosophy seems to be in the mix of Buddhism and Stoicism. Both argue against this idea that our life has to be a certain way before we can start to be happy. And that's a liberating thought to me, that happiness can be so close to us, no matter what our situation is. One point that this book brought up that I appreciated was, you should act the same whether everyone is watching you or no one is watching you. That's the surest way to live an authentic life. If you're doing something just because you love doing the thing and not what your audience is thinking, it's a lot easier to just be happy in the moment. If you love to write music, you should write it whether you have 1 million people listening to what you write or if no one is, because the joy should be in the creation process, not the outcome. So in summary, this book is a buffet of really good life advice, and I think it would be hard to read through it without getting a fresh take on something. So I will give this book 4 stars.